This is a result of hard work, perfection, learning from failure, loyalty, and persistence. Manners and behavior can take you where money can never take you. Kelly shines in the building. Check it out again time, so go ahead and get ready. Cause knowledge will be dropped on your mouth, growing heavy. Since you wanna be a super duper star, hot shot, roll with the top notch, blue up in a hot spot. Stop, pause, sit for a second. Classes in session, no need to raise your hand for any question, cause we gon' expose it all. Give you the rise and fall, a pro ball, like the feds, the track, the crashes, the highest flights of height. You kids don't know what you're in for. Sit back, relax, and let these veterans serve the info. That's why I know, none of it's a lie, yo. The moral of the story, come and the hype, yo. Cause what you see, the labs and luxury, the makeup bucks and bling, ain't easy as what it seems. Hella things they go through, stuff they refuse to show you. From the news, from almost any interviews they go through. Let me show you all how the players play, how the ballers ball. When the lights go down, it's more than just a game. They can't get nothing so insane when you step into it, man. When the lights go down, let me show you all how the players play, how the ballers ball. When the lights go down, it's more than just a game. They can't get nothing so insane when you step into it, man. You got the fame, the fortune, reputation is scorching. Every time you see your sun shining, you just want more of it. As gorgeous as it is to be on top, be so hot, having the finer things from pop bottles, the models, the pimp whips, more jewels and slick Rick. And no one use a hero to the people can give the ego an intense slip. Quick, fast, you begin to brag. Club hopping, blowing your cash, acting silly Billy bad. Cocky just cause your wrist is rocky like Stallone. You wanna be on, so no one can stop me type of trip. Ain't that a flip? Now you slowly about to slip. Seduced by the power of having chips and all the chicks you want. Lord Jesus, temptation and greetings to one of the deadliest diseases for all major diseases. So all you major dreamers that's trying to make it happen, let me show you all what's really happening. When the lights go down, let me show you all how the players play, how the ballers ball. When the lights go down, it's more than just a game. They can't give up, so insane when they step into it, man. When the lights go down, let me show you all how the players play, how the ballers ball. When the lights go down, it's more than just a game. They can't give up, so insane when they step into it, man. You either a winner or a loser, choose one. If you think you got what it takes, then gonna do some. And so then let me school some of y'all about the game, man. Let me explain rule number one. Trust nobody's if and plain. Get what you came for and fall back. And never sell your soul, bro, for that tall stack. Say you do what you do and keep it humble at all times. Move for the grind and everything will be all fine. This is the wanna be baller shot. Caller, all of you stop falling for all of the crop. You saying articles from papers to the TV to the internet. It's easy, so sleazy. Strictly designed for talking goofy. So know the do's and don'ts before you start to clown or be another statistic when the lights go down. I'll show you all how the players play, how the ballers ball. When the lights go down, it's more than just a game. They can't give up, and so insane when they step into it, man. When the lights go down, let me show you all how the players play, how the ballers ball. When the lights go down, it's more than just a game. They can't give up, and so insane when they step into it, man.
What's up? It's your boy Robert Bobby Reed. I'm on today, man. This is my first day of my 30 for 30 podcast. I'm waiting on my guy Mike Dreznes, man. He's supposed to join me. I'm waiting on you, Mike, man. Where you at? We want to chop it up about Mendel's all-class reunion alumni. Mendel's having their all-class reunion celebration May 1st. So I'm waiting on my guy Mike to join me. As y'all know, Mendel is one of the all-time greatest Catholic schools in Chicago history. So, we want to get on and give Mendel their roses. If you're familiar with Mendel, you remember how Mendel used to have. Mendel had the best parties back in the days. Mendel was known for all the best parties back in the days. So I'm waiting on one of their alumni to join me, man, so we can talk about it in detail. Anybody remember Mendel High School? Remember Mendel, how, back in the days, they had the best house parties, man. And it's amazing how Mendel was actually out there in the Rosen area. And Rosen was not always the community it used to be. But today, Mendel is still thriving to this day, man, under a new name. But yeah, I had a chance to attend Mendel in 1983. That was 1983. And all boys school. It's one of those things, man, where you had a chance to experience what it was like to be in one of those strict environments. And Mendel was very, very strict. It was a very, very strict school, but it was a really good school. So I'm waiting to see what my man Mike at. Mike, where you at, man? Where you at, Mike? Because I'm looking forward to chatting it up with him. Um, I tell you, but if until I get him on, man, it's been a lot going on in the news uh, with the kid Jaden Ivey, man. What y'all think about that? What you think about the kid Jaden Ivey, man? That's a sad situation over there for that kid, man. I just hate to see it happening to him because you know you played the professional sports. You your whole life you grow up and you want to play professional sports, and then you get to that point, and from what I understand, he's been hurt, and by him being hurt, he just been spiraling, man. He just been going down that foxhole. And one thing about it, that depression is hard to track. It's hard to track when somebody's depressed. So if anybody that's depressed, man, you think they may be depressed, make sure you send them, try to help them get some help, because that's very important, man. That we try to help people out when they're going through these tough times. So yeah, man, Mendel, man, they got their all class reunion coming up, and where's my guy at? Where is he at? I got the flyer right here. So we got this Mendel all class reunion, and Mendel was one of those schools back in the days, man. If you think about back in the days when I was coming up, most people coming out in the '80s, if you went to a Catholic school back in the days, I mean, you was considered one of the ones, man, because Catholic schools was like how highly touted back in the days. And shoot, if you got a scholarship to go to one of them schools, man, you were considered one of them ones. And Mendel is by far one of the greatest Catholic schools to ever exist. Unfortunately, the times have changed, and with with tuition and stuff like that, parents are not able to send their kids, may not have been able to afford it. So I do understand that they had to close it down. So, but Mendel, man, brought back a lot of memories for me. I think about it coming out of eighth grade. When I was coming out of eighth grade, I had two scholarship offers. I had a scholarship offer to go to Mendel, and I had a scholarship offer to go to Mount Carmel. And I played with Mount Carmel. Yeah, yeah, Mike. Is there any way you can hit that link I just sent you? I just sent the link to you. If you can hit that link, man, that'd be great. I actually just texted to you too. Let me see. So yeah, I had a scholarship to go to Mendel and to Mount Carmel. Hold on. And so coming out of eighth grade, I ended up playing with Mount Carmel in the summer leagues up at Chicago State. Back then, they used to have the summer league, Chicago State. You play with your high school team, and I played with Mount Carmel that summer. But then I ended up going to Mendel as a freshman, my freshman year, which was the exact opposite. It was actually the exact opposite. I should have played with Mendel that summer and then went to Mendel, but I didn't. I played with Mount Carmel, and I ended up going to Mendel. And Mandarino loved me. He was a great coach, man. Mandarino was a great coach. I just couldn't get myself together in the books at that time. At that time, man, I couldn't get myself cut the mustard. But let me bring my guests in, man. Without no further ado, bring in Mike Dreznes, man. Here we go, y'all. Let's chop it up with my guest, man. Mike, where you at, Mike? I see you.
I'm here. I'm in South
There
Florida.
you go. There you go. How you doing, Mike? How you doing? Welcome to the show, my man Mike, one of Mendel alumni, one of the greatest from Mendel. He just got inducted into the Hall of Fame in 2025 for Mendel, right? How you doing, sir?
I'm doing just great. How are you doing, Bob? We're
I'm doing
busy.
just great, man. Just great, man. Thanks for coming on and chatting it up with me, man. Thanks for letting me come back and be a part of Mendel, the great Catholic school, Mendel.
Yeah, it is. It's a big part of all of our lives. Um, the Alumni Association, we're still kicking. We're keeping the fires burning. It's an interesting story. I don't know how much your viewers know, but I mean, Mendel opened 1951. It's the first year we had classes, and first graduating class, 1955. We now officially have been closed longer than we were open. We
Oh
were open
wow.
for 37 years. The last graduating class was 1988. And
Mm.
so now we've been closed for 38 years. And what happened was in 1988, the, 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 the size of the classes were continuing to go down, which obviously was an issue. I think the largest class was a class of 1966. They had, I believe, 480 graduates, and the
Hmm.
graduating class in 1988 had 99. So, I mean, it's tough to keep that place open. It's a beautiful campus, as you know. The lake is a beautiful place. Somebody described it as a high school on a college campus, which
Oh yeah.
it really was. So, what happened was when Mendel closed down in 1988, the Augustinians, who the priests who ran it, sold it to the Chicago Chicago Archdiocese, and they ran it. They turned it into. They merged with St. Willibrod's, which was the girls' school that was nearby. Had a co-ed school now they called St. Martin de Porres. And
Hmm.
I would think St. Martin de Porres was probably open. I don't know for sure. 5, 6, 7 years.
Hmm.
And then they sold the property, the whole thing, to the Chicago Board of Ed. The Chicago Board of Ed came in. I've heard different numbers, anywhere from 55 to 75 million dollars. I remember the campus where it was. You know, we had that little gym on the side. They've
I
got
remember that.
two huge gymnasiums now and indoor swimming pools, not an outdoor swimming pool, indoor swimming pools, astroturf out in the back, anywhere from 55 to 75 million dollars they poured into that campus. And now
Wow.
Gwendolyn Brooks is the name of the school. And I think I saw one time it was like in the top 13 or top 12 schools in the state of Illinois. So it's a charter school, and that's still there. So brick and mortar is there, but the spirit, we're trying to keep that alive. Our bench is not getting any longer, Bob, as you know. It's not
That's
getting
right.
any longer.
That's
So
right.
we're doing our best.
Well, you come to the right place because I got another guy, Mendel alumni that just chimed in. He class of 1987, Frederick Cleveland. What's up, Fred Cleveland? How you doing, big dog? He a Mendel monarch. I remember the song. That song. I say blue smoke, and I know. I remember that song now.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Okay. That's good. Blue smoke. Blue smoke. Mr.
So you got
Cleveland.
an alumni coming up. You got a big time alumni banquet coming up, and you're doing a lot of things. Talk about that. What you got coming up with the alumni?
Yeah, we've got coming up. We have a reunion every other year. Okay, it's a reunion every other year. This year it's going to be May the 1st. It'll be at Gaelic Park in Oak Forest. And I'm going to mention this a couple times while we're talking, but if you want to get information on what's happening in Mendel, go to mendelchs.org. That's our website. It's like mendelcatholichighschool.org, mendelchs.org. You'll go in there. First thing you'll see now will be the reunion. We're expecting probably about 200 guys, 200 people to show up, and everybody's welcome. It's $75 to show up. You're welcome. Bring your friends. We're running a silent auction right now. We're doing something interesting. First time we've ever done this. You can bid on items on the silent auction online right now, and it will end on, I believe it's 3 days before the reunion. So if you made the bid, and then when we get to the reunion, we'll have some live auctioning going on. We'll also be doing some split the pots. We'll be doing a lot of, again, it's just the fundraisers. And again, one question, Bobby, people ask me, well, Mike, where's the money go? What do you need all this money for? There's nobody getting paid. We're all volunteers. We're doing our thing.
Right.
But where the money goes, a couple of places. One, right now, I'm just finishing up this. I don't know if you can see this or not, but this was a plaque that we'll have for our legacy scholarship
Mm-hmm.
for your grandkids who are seniors in high school. We'll have 19 of them going out this year, and we'll be paying out about $18,000
Nice.
to those guys. And it's a matter of just applying, getting online and applying. That's one thing. The other thing is we do a lot with the veterans and the first responders. We had 16 guys killed in Vietnam. We've had 3 policemen killed. So we do a lot with those guys. We did something over in the Beverly area recently where we bought. The Chicago police have to buy their own safety vests, those big vests. So we donated for the two of the policemen who are Chicago policemen. We donated a vest for that. The other policeman was a Downers Grove policeman. And so there's a park there called Pioneer Park. There's a pond. It's called Barth Pond. That's after Richard Barth, who was the Mendel policeman who got killed. And we just bought a bench with a memorial for him. So again, we're just trying to keep the spirit alive, Bob. I mean, it's like I said, the bench isn't getting any longer. You know, we got guys dropping off. I think we looked, and I looked up some numbers on the number of guys that we have. We had about 8,000 guys go through Mendel ballpark, and we know that we have at least a couple thousand of them that have passed away, and we really gotten more active in the last few years trying to track guys down and get people involved to tell us what is happening. So so that's another place. The third. So again, that and the other thing with the Augustinians. I mean, the guys who taught us, a lot of them are out in Crown Point, Indiana. Some of them are housed in the Beverly area in the old St. Barnabas church convent over there. And so we provide money to them also, to the Augustinians, to keep it going. And that's pretty rewarding, very rewarding. We did something on the river, but Augustinians on a boat, river cruise recently. We had a bunch of the Augustinians come out, the novitiates. I think what's happened now is kind of cool with the Augustinians because of the new pope coming in. The Augustinians have got a little shot in the arm, you know, because he's an Augustinian. Mendel's gotten a shot in the arm because his two brothers, one of them graduated from 1969, Lou Prevost, and the other one was the class of 1972, John Prevost. And the Pope would have been in the class of 1973 at Mendel, but he went right into the seminary. His mom though was the librarian at Mendel.
Wow.
And it's funny, Bob, I'll tell you this, when I tell guys that, typically there's a little silence on the back of the phone, and then somebody, the guy would say, wait a second, you're telling me we had a library at Mendel? I said, yeah, we really did. We had a library, yeah. So she was our librarian, I think, for 6 years. So we're keeping in touch. And in fact, ironically, at this reunion coming up, we've announced that our man of the year is a guy named Bishop Dan Turley. Dan Turley was a class of 1970. He's a bishop. He would spend most of his time down in Peru. And ironically, the one guy who came to work with him, or for him actually, was Pope Leo XIV. He worked for the bishop down there in Peru for a lot of years. And in fact, I joke with Bishop Turley. I said, Bishop Turley, that means that because he was sort of like the valet for the bishop. I mean, he really was. And so I said, you got a priest, you got a bishop, you got an archbishop, you got a cardinal, you got a pope, and then now you got a Turley. That's it, as high as you can go. So he'll be getting the honor for the man of the year. And then we have another honor. We have a guy named from the class of 1966, Andy Uppel. He'll be getting the Jack Vlasny, who was he started the Mendel Hall of Fame. He started the Mendel. By the way, we have a Hall of Fame at St. Rita. I don't know if a lot of people know that. I mean, we have a Hall of Fame in the hall right at St. Rita. We got banners hanging in the St. Rita. Keep in mind, St. Rita is one of our sister schools, as is Providence out in New Lenox. So we do a lot with those guys, especially St. Rita. Do a lot there. So Andy Uppel was on the board at St. Rita. He's a class of 66. He's been a vice president of the Alumni Association. He's been extremely active with us. So as Jack Vlasny was. So in his honor, and keep in mind, we do this reunion every 2 years. We have golf outings every year, because golf outings will be coming up in August. We have picnics every year. We had something recently, it was a Zoom call with all the classes. Again, just trying to keep the fires burning, keep that blue smoke smoking. That's the name of the game. And everything you want to find out about these things are at that mendelchs.org website. Anything you need to know.
That's good stuff, man. That's good, because I just think back to Mendel when I first walked in there. You know, this is just my fond memories. I was just like, man, I just felt like I was in such a prestigious school. You know, I just felt like I was a part of a prestigious situation. And then once I got there, I realized, wow, Mendel was like the mecca of all boys schools in Chicago back then. like between you and Brother Rice, I mean, back then, Mendel was at the top of the top, right?
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. Like I said, we had so many great guys go through that. Some of the guys, again, the list go on and on. Peter Cetera, you ever hear of Peter Cetera? He's the lead singer in Chicago. Mendel guy, Mendel
Wow.
guy, the head coach of the Oakland Raiders, Billy Callahan, Mendel guy. His son Brian Callahan, head coach of the Tennessee Titans. He got fired recently, but he was there. We've had guys play in the major leagues. We've guys plays in the professional football league. Mr. Cleveland's children himself. Some of his kids have been pretty doggone good athletes themselves. And so the other guy that we'll be honoring, the Catholic League has something else, Bob. It's called the Catholic League Hall of Fame. Okay, and that's a big deal to get into the Catholic League Hall of Fame. This year we'll have two Mendel guys going into the Catholic League Hall of Fame. One of the guys is going to be Coach Ed McAllister, who was the track coach, cross country coach from 71 to 76. He was one of the guys that was right there when the Blue Smoke concept all started happening. He's getting honored. A guy named Eric Rouse nominated him from the class of 75. He'll be going in. And then the other guy is a guy named Bob Munoz. Bob Munoz was a class of 65. And Bob Munoz was a wrestler at Mendel, and he played football at Mendel. He still holds the record for the longest touchdown in Catholic League history of 103 yards.
Wow.
And I said, how do you do that? And he said, it was a kickoff. There were two guys back deep. The ball went to the other guy. Okay, it went through his legs, but it hit him, rolled into the end zone. So Bob went back, picked it up, and thought maybe just get 5 yards, 10 yards, and 103 yards later he's in the end zone.
Wow.
And the other thing he did, he was this is the reason this is the guy who should be in the Catholic League Hall of Fame. He wrestled his first match he lost as a freshman. He won his next 120 matches in a row. He didn't lose again until the Catholic League Championship his senior year, his last meet. So he's a classic guy. He ran the Olympic program in Puerto Rico for wrestling. He runs fitness warehouses out in Puerto Rico now. He's coming in. He's coming in on April 30th to come in and be inducted into this Hall of Fame for the Catholic League Hall of Fame. And then ironically, as it turned out as well, he'll stay over, to May 1st to come to our reunion.
That's going to be dope right there, man.
Yeah.
Dope. Somebody just put up on the screen in the series Super Bowl champion Howard Griffin from the Denver Broncos played for Mendel?
From Illinois. Absolutely. Yes, he did. Yeah.
And we can't let us not forget Mike Hampton.
Yeah.
They put Mike Hampton up there, and then you had another guy, Andre Banks.
Those guys played together in that 82 class, that they went downstate and finished second. They were awesome. Awesome player, awesome team.
Yeah, man. So you say St. Rita is your sister school, and a lot of your stuff is up there now, you say?
Yeah, again, they're Augustinians, just like the Mendel priests were Augustinians. They've welcomed us in. We have a lot of stuff going on with them. We actually sponsor, I think, I don't remember exactly, 3 or 5 students. I think we give them some money, and they're seniors. We had a basketball game there. We've had games where we've brought in guys and we've played there. It's a very close relationship with St. Rita and us. Yes.
I see. Right now, you really trying to track down that class of 1986 because this is 40 years for them. I was a part of that class as a freshman, and we can't. You say you haven't been able to track how many of those guys you've only been in touch with. How many guys from 1986? We
have. I wrote all this down. I don't know where I put it. We have names. We have phone numbers. We started about 4 years ago, 3.5 years ago, really chasing guys, tracking them down, and we have probably, I don't even know quote numbers, so I'm going to be wrong, but we have some numbers. We have some classes where we have email addresses, which is the key thing for us, Bob. Email addresses are gold. I mean, that's how we get the messages out. We have some classes where we're up over 80% of those. I would say the class of 86, we're down under 50%. And it really comes from guys contacting me at zekedrez@aol.com, ZEKEDREZ at AOL.com, or going to our website and putting a message in there. And then once we know about stuff, we'll get it updated. And sadly, one of the worst things for me is having to send notices out when guys pass away. I get a notice, and what I'm doing, and I've made over 1,000 phone calls to guys trying to track them down. And it's a terrible story, and it still bothers me today. But I made a call to a guy, and this woman answers, and I said, is Pete whatever there? And she said, no, I'm sorry, he passed away 3 months ago. And I said, I've got a standard response for that now. I've heard it too many times. I say, okay, listen, I'm really sorry for your loss. If there's anything we can do to let us know, and we'll keep you in our prayers. That's my response. That about those three things. I start into it. Hey, listen, I'm really sorry for your loss. If there's anything we can, and she screams into the phone, stop it. I said, what? She said, why the hell didn't you call him when he was alive? She said, he didn't know you had an alumni association. He didn't know you had picnics, you had golf outings. He talked about Mendel all the time. He would have been at everything. And those words kind of haunt me when I'm sitting up late at night and calling people and trying to track people down, because all we're trying to do is let people know. Now, on the other hand, to be honest with you now, Bob, I've had other guys call, and I call them and I say, and they said, yeah, I went to Mendel. I said, yeah. They said, I got the crap kicked out of me about 3 out of 5 days a week. And he said,
you talking about like they butt kicked, beat up by people?
Yeah, he said it was miserable. It was bad. And now you want me to socialize with these assholes? Not a chance in the world. And I said, okay, you're the one guy should go. You should just mark in unsubscribe, But fortunately, the 99.9% of the guys are really happy to hear. And in fact, what we started doing, having these small little group gatherings. I live in the South Loop. There's a little restaurant right across the street from me. There's other guys who are in the South Loop, and there are like 4 of us. We got together in this little restaurant. We're eating breakfast, just talking. And this kid walks up, and I'm class of '68, so this is probably 4 or 5 years ago. He's probably in his 40s, and he stops at our table and he looks at us and goes, "Man, you guys remind me of my old man." And we laugh. We say, well, "What do you mean?" He goes, he gets together with all his buddies. They go out there at breakfast. They call themselves Romeo. Romeo. Yeah, random old men eating out. Romeo. Okay. So I said, we're going to steal that, but we're going to make a random old monarchs eating out. And we did. So we do the random old monarchs. We've done them on in the north side. We've done them on the west side, Downers Grove. We've done them in Lansing. We've done them in Northwest Indiana. We've done them in Las Vegas. We've done them in California. Wherever guys are gathering. And we encourage guys, go out and do it and just send some pictures, stand up, sing the fight song, and we'll put it up on the website. And so that's another way of keeping that spirit alive and keeping just the connections going. Because I'll tell you another thing, Bob, is that when you realize that a guy's from Mendel, all of a sudden you see him totally differently. I lived out in Oak Forest. I raised a family out in Oak Forest. And I didn't know it till I got involved in this job and looked at the roster. And by the way, if anybody wants a copy of their roster with the addresses and show you who's alive and who's dead, get in touch with me, Dreznes at AOL.com. But I didn't know there were like 3 guys from my parish out in Oak Forest, St. Damien, who I found out went to Mendel. And all of a sudden I saw him totally differently. I've never known him forever. But now
my brother's right there.
Brother, hey, you remember when we did this, And it goes, so again, there's something to that. And I think it's the same thing. You can do a job interview, and all of a sudden, I know when I would go into one, I'd be always looking around the guy's office trying to connect to something,
Right. Yeah.
That connection is important. And we've been fortunate that we've got a lot of great guys. The guy who runs the University of Chicago, Mendel guy, John Boyer, he was our man of the year 2 years ago. There's some guys who've done some really, really great stuff in their lives. And it's just great to know them, if nothing else. And anyway, I'm talking too much. You go ahead.
No, you're doing a great job. I mean, you're keeping everybody informed, because it's without these platforms, I don't know how we get the word out. Like,
you're right.
Without getting it all the way out. Like a lot of times, like you said, we've been using emails and stuff like that. But with these podcasts, everybody got their phone in their hand and looking at something. So like once we finish, I'm gonna clip this thing up real good, put it all over TikTok, and we should be able to get some momentum. I know 2 of my classmates from Mendel when I was there. 2 of them passed on. Richard Haley, he was there with me, and Lil Rich. They both passed away. So both of them are gone, but there's still a lot of them around that's on Facebook. So I'm gonna help you try to track a lot of these guys down.
That would be
Because
great, Bob.
I know a lot of them are still in Chicago. And then I did talk to Mike Hampton and all of them. A few of those guys from the class of 19 from that basketball team. They say they definitely gonna pull up this year to the all class reunion because it's what they don't know. Oh yeah, my boy Bobby Green, Steve Hudson. My man just put it up on. I forgot. Let me put it on the screen. There's a couple other guys. Steve Hudson passed away too. That's another one of my boys.
Yeah, yeah,
A
yeah.
good guy. Steve Hudson passed away. Bobby Green, I don't know if he passed away, but he was there with me. And then, of course, you say Nolan Lane. You talked about Nolan Lane other day.
Yeah, Nolan Lane's still alive.
Yeah.
He's a great baseball player, and yeah, he's still around, and he does a lot with the Alumni Association, or he has been.
Yeah,
Um,
that's big time stuff right there.
I remember when Mike Hampton came in a couple of years ago. He came in for the reunion a couple of years from Minnesota, and then we did have that basketball game, I believe at De La Salle. We had a basketball game we had Mendel guys against the Catholic League All Stars. I mean, put it together. And there's so many things you can do by just being a little bit creative. I mean, that was a great example. That was put together. I think Coach Mandarino was around, and he helped put that one together. Guys want to reconnect if they can. I think we're all realizing, that there's only so much time we got left, man. And
Like you say, what did you say earlier on? Our bench is getting short, right?
bench is getting shorter all the time. Yeah, it is, unfortunately. So, hey, another thing, real quick, when we have this reunion coming up, and we're going to have a silent auction, there's some cool stuff, and we're adding more and more. Effective today. You're able to bid online, and some of the things around there, they're obviously golf outings. There's one thing that's really cool. One guy donated 3 tickets for the Notre Dame Michigan State football game in the skybox, which I've been fortunate enough to be up there. I mean, that's free booze, free food, carving stations. And again, he's got 4 of them. He'll be there. He has to go himself, but he can bring 3 guests, and the 3 guests, and so that's up online. It's one of the items. There's a lot of just a lot of great stuff, and as I said, we'll continue to add things between now and May 1st. We had a lot of guys really humping, really working hard. A lot of guys doing a lot of great stuff. John McKinnis, guys, he's in Oregon. His class of '73. He's putting in all the time. And there's other guys. There's guys from all classes for the most part, all classes. Will Marshall, one guy that's been taking he's out of Washington D.C. He's been doing a great job. Terry Gaynor, class of '65. The guys from '68, my class. I mean, classes are tight. I mean, a lot of these classes they meet once a month or every couple months. They meet somewhere. They have breakfast, which is great, and that's what we want to do. This is bringing it all together. This is the Super Bowl of those little gatherings, right? This is we are going to get together, and we'll have a great bash.
Mike, you came out in 1968.
I came out in '68. Yeah,
I was born that year. I was born in 1968.
Oh, yeah, that's really nice. Maybe would you rub it in a little bit? Go ahead.
What was it like, man, when you went to Mendel in '68? Though, what was it like? You guys played because you said you played football, or they wanted you to play football.
Yeah, I did not play football in Mendel. When I went to Mendel, I wrestled. I was 95 pounds, and when I graduated, I weighed about 150, maybe something like that. In fact, a quick story on that. When I graduated, and I never played football in Mendel. You know why? I'll tell you why. When I did go to the first meeting as a freshman, and I sat down next to a guy. The guy's name was Bill Windauer. Bill Windauer ultimately played for the Baltimore Colts.
Oh, wow.
Bill Windauer was probably 6'4" and sculpted 200 and some odd 30 pounds in '68. Or this was in '64. Oh, and so I looked at him and I said, this is not a good idea. I'm probably going to get killed. So Bill Windauer is a very big guy at the University of Iowa now. He's got really good connections with Caitlin Clark, and said a lot of good stuff out there. But anyway, so it was a good idea not to play. But when I graduated, and I'm filling out applications I had gotten the Illinois State Scholarship or something. I'm filling in forms. Get these bingo cards sent to me from all these schools in Illinois. One was North Central College out in Naperville. And I fill in circle things. What do you like? And I circle football. I like football. I get a call from the coach. Hey, we'd love to have you come and join us at North Central and play football. I said, you got to be shitting me, but oh yeah, great. Okay. I said, okay. So the first day I showed up on campus was the first day of practice. And Bob, we were not a good football team. We got beat by North Park College 104-32. And, and the only reason we got 32 points was toward the end of the game. They were letting us score so they could get the ball back so they could break 100. They wanted to break 100. Now, since that time, recently, North Central has been they're a dynamite team. They're they're really good, North Central. I'm not there anymore, but they are very good.
You know, they were trying to get that space down there for the Bears recently. And we got your man Mike Hampton joining us from the
Michael, how are you? Good to see you, man. How are you?
I want to pull him out of the audience and join us to help build this thing.
All right. How's it going?
What's up? What's up, fellas?
This is Mike from the class of 1968, Mike.
Oh, I know Mr. Dreznes.
You know? Okay.
Oh, yeah. We spent time at the reunion and then at the basketball game, right?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yes, well.
I'm in the gym right now. Actually, I'm at Lifetime Fitness. I just got through getting the workout in. I'm trying to be like you, Bob.
Hey, man, we got to stay. Hey, like Mike said, he said our bench is getting shorter, man. We got to stay active, Mike Hampton.
Yeah, sort of lose you, Mike.
Yeah. How you doing, Michael?
Everything is good. Everything is good. We're this reunion's fun. Hey, another thing we're doing right now, another place you asked where did the money go, and I brought up the fact about that legacy scholarship thing. You know, if your kids, your grandkids, more likely now, great grandkids, there's a program we have that we started up to give them scholarships, and we just right now are just finishing that up. Like I said, we have 19 going out this year, and so that's taking up a lot of our time. But the reunion is front and center. That's where we're spending the time.
Hey, so Mike, what was your experiences like with the reunions, coming back and being a part of that?
Honestly, can you guys see me?
Yeah.
Yeah, honestly, the reunions are just, man, beautiful. I mean, you get this, ours are all class. So that's the difference. We get to see how the school changed from, how it was in the 50s and 60s all the way into the 90s.
Wow.
It's a good thing to see. I mean, I didn't realize, when we moved to our house on 113th and Green, we bought our house from a really nice Polish family. Really nice. Our block was 113th and Green was just changing over. Mm-hmm. And they left us with a really nice house. The person that owned the house, gave us a lawnmower and gave us a good start. And this was my experience with dealing with, white people. It wasn't a situation where we felt like they were like running these particular people. But man, when I got out there, in 4 years, it had changed. So, I mean, that's the demographic of the school. The school did the same thing. And I don't know, I don't think that anybody that comes to the reunions really even deals with that, because most of the folks there are just really, really just trying to have a good time.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Mike, it's interesting. When I got married in 1973, and my wife and I decided we were going to buy a house, so we looked at Beverly. Beverly at that time was the white flight and all that garbage, and that was happening. And so I remember telling her, I said, "Hey, if I don't care about a guy's color, if he can live with me, I can live with him." Bottom line, that's the only way I looked at it. And we were able to buy a house for $22,000, a '96.
Wow.
And that next year is when they changed over the rule that said the policemen and the firemen had to live in the city. And then all of a sudden, Beverly blew up, and so we were there, and then we started having kids, and we had a 2-bedroom place on Beverly, so we sold it for $37,000 like 3 years later, and moved to Oak Forest, and the rest, and then from there we're down in South Loop now, as you know. So.
Mm-hmm.
That's dope, man. That's dope. So, Mike, you gonna try to come back for the reunion, man? We need to get the word out to a lot of the guys, right?
Yes. My fiance and I, Rachel, we were thinking about coming up probably because I'm starting a new job probably this week. I work for a waste management company, and I'm starting a new job for a new one. But I'm absolutely gonna try to take that Thursday and Friday off. That's the weekend of May 1st.
Yep.
Because a lot of people are Billy Hilbring and a few of the other people that always show up.
Yes, he does.
They're coming and they're consistent. And Billy was one of the people that really kept in contact with me when I was at my lowest point. Billy Hilbring, Billy Hawkins, Coach Flair, and Coach Manarino. They, these guys really poured into my life. They've always been there. So the the Mendel gentlemen that went there have always, been consistent in my life. So I would like to be there, but I'm definitely going to see if I can get that time off because we can. It's only 7 hours, 6.5 hours.
Right.
Yeah, Billy. By the way, Billy Hilbring went into the Mendel Hall of Fame also last year with me in my class.
Wow.
So
Okay.
and again, his story is great. He's a tremendous guy too. He'll be there. He's on our board.
Always.
Yeah, he always anything
Always.
Mendel, Billy will be there. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So Mike
Yeah.
D, I'll say Mike D when I'm referring because they got two mics on here. So Mike, what can we do, man? What can me and Mike Hamp do to continue to push this net to get this word out? What can we do to help you continue to get the word out?
Pick up the phone.
Okay.
Yeah.
Pick up the phone. I mean, we're shooting a lot. A lot of guys don't even open emails anymore, to be honest with you. They get so many of them. So if you pick up a phone and you talk to a guy, and typically a guy, if he went to Mendel, he's got a family member who went to Mendel, right? Either a cousin or a brother or an uncle who went to Mendel. And you say, well, are they coming? He's got friends. You grew up with guys who were in the neighborhood with you, the guys you went to college, with. You just say, hey, are you aware? Remember I told you I started the story about that woman, yelling in the, why didn't you tell him?
Yeah.
I think
Mike, did you hear that story? Did you hear that story told?
No, tell me.
Well, Mike, what happened was I'm calling all these people we're trying to get email addresses in particular, right? So we have all these phone numbers and we started calling people and I literally I've called 1,000 people, 1,000 guys.
Wow.
And I called this one and this woman, she said, no, I'm sorry, Tommy passed away 3 months ago. And I said, oh, listen, I'm sorry. And I've heard that too many times, right? So now the response, hey, I'm really sorry for your loss. If anything we can do, let us know. We'll keep you in our prayers. And I started into the response, hey, I'm really sorry for your loss. If there's anything I got to do. And she said, stop it. I said, what? She said, why the hell didn't you call him when he was alive? He said he didn't know anything about Mendel having a website, didn't know about your reunions, didn't know about golf outings, picnics, didn't know about the legacy scholarship. He said he would have been involved in everything. So those words kind of ring in my mind. All we're trying to do now, Bob, is make sure people know. If they don't want to come, that's okay. But don't find out 2 weeks later and say, hey, if I only had known, I might have gone.
Yeah, and that'd be the thing. A lot of people are not on social media. They think people are afraid of social media. They like, but it's not really that bad. Yeah. So
if you're a social person, it isn't.
Right. Yeah.
You got it, Mike. Some guys don't want it. They don't want it.
Hey,
I call Andre Banks. I call Johnny McCorkle. I call all my teammates. I'm pretty much Don Johnson. I'm pretty consistent with calling. I got Al Hudson's number. I got some numbers that I usually at least try to check in with at least a couple times a month. And everybody's talking, guys are talking about coming. So you're right, Mike. It's all about consistent phone calls.
Yeah, and I know, Mike, you've got your class roster. I think I've sent it to you in the past, with the phone numbers, and I'll send you an updated one because that's always changing. It's constantly changing. And again, anybody who wants a class roster with the phone numbers and the addresses where guys are living, just let me know. And
so you got that? You say you got that class 86 roster with all the emails and phone numbers on there?
I do. Yep.
Yeah, I can reach out to them once I clip this up. I'll clip it up and send them the reels and stuff. Because a lot of times that stuff also helps. Somebody wanted to ask Mike a question. Mike Hampton, how did it feel to beat Quincy?
Oh, that's a low blow. Low blow.
Hey, honestly, you know what, man? It's really like you look at these teams that's playing these games today in the college games, and really the difference between teams is not really talent. It's really, man, I got along with all of my teammates.
Oh,
that's all I can tell you. Like a lot of times I look at games, I just watch what happens after guys make mistakes or after guys do something bad. Like, certain guys on the team had certain roles. But one thing I can say is for my personally, I never felt that my role was any more significant than anybody else. Some people had to pass me the ball. People had
Wow.
to play defense. I think that, the conversation of GOAT and the greatest and lists and, hierarchies, I think that it's just a narrative that's kind of false in team sports. You might be able to
Mm.
do it in tennis. You might be able to do it in golf. But if you're playing a team sport,
Ain't
especially
no.
something like football, listen, you can say Tom Brady all you want to, but there was 100 other people that helped him get there.
Yep.
That's right.
You
That's right.
can't get there. I couldn't get there. I'll say beating Quincy was a team effort. I'll say that to my last dying breath, and we were just connected in a way that when it came down to doing something at that moment, man, we didn't even think about it. We knew what the other person could do.
Real
It
talk.
wasn't a guessing game. So that's you see that all like that thing that happened with Duke. That was a fingernail. If
Oh
that
man.
dude doesn't tip that ball, they lose the game.
Oh man.
Connecticut. You see what it come down to? Now that one play didn't cost him the game. I mean, he cried. But it was other plays. It was 18, 19, 20 other plays that could have cost him the game. Same with us.
Right.
We really got fortunate to even get that last ball because the Douglas brother had the ball in his hands. And if you look at the tape, nobody's around and the ball just slipped out of this dude's hands and went out of bounds. So,
Wow.
so if that ball wouldn't have slipped out, because nobody touched him, if that ball hadn't slipped out of that guy's hands, we wouldn't have never got a chance to even take the ball out. But those
Wow.
those those moments are not talked about enough. We just talk about what guys are doing, or how many points they score, how many rebounds. What about
Right.
that dude that dove out of bounds?
Right.
What about that dude that just did something that was just a team play that you'll never see on Sports Center that wins games? So I
Right.
tell you, man, I still communicate with my teammates a lot because we had played basketball from freshman year all the way to senior year. We played ball together for 4 years straight. That's the reason why there was, we were connected in a way that was unusual. Now, kids just switch schools and transfer, and I ain't got to tell you what's going on.
Right.
You can't get a continuity. You can't get a cohesiveness now because everything is about finances,
Right.
But
and it's really sad.
beating Quincy, that was something special. There's no doubt about that. I mean,
Yeah,
that's
that was for
legendary.
the school. That was for the school, man. The school itself, the atmosphere of the school, Catholic League, all of that, man. All of that was just I really don't know how to put it, man. I really wasn't even going to go to Catholic school. My mother made me go to Catholic school. My
It
mother
was a
made me go
great
to a private
experience,
school.
though, right?
It really was. It really,
It,
you know what, going to Mendel saved my life because if I was in some public school at that time, I don't know what I would have. I needed control. I needed to have a noose around my
that
neck, bro.
structure, man. It
Yeah, I
was it
needed it
was
bad.
special, man. I couldn't
I
cut
don't
the
know about
mustard
you,
in the
Michael,
books.
but me, I needed it.
Yeah.
And I'm
You're,
grateful for it now. I'm grateful for it. And at the time, I thought it was a prison sentence.
You said at the
They got
time.
gates around the school. I'm seeing a big old ocean in front of the school. I said, "What the fuck is this, man?
Hey,
This
when I
ain't no
first
damn
came there, they told
school."
us they throw freshmen in that
I
water. Do
know,
you
right?
remember
All
that?
oh
right,
I said, I hope they don't throw me in there. I can't swim.
yeah.
man. Listen,
Hey, don't worry. You can't swim. The alligators will get you. Don't worry about
exactly. That's what they say. That's what they told us. They gonna
it.
get the alligators on you.
Yeah. No, it was legendary. And again, the priests were. I mean, Jesus. If some of these kids today come home and complain, I say you don't have nothing to complain about. I mean,
No,
I remember having to go in and you remember the board of education. Do you guys have a lot of these priests had a board of education? It was a paddle, had holes drilled in it, and it was the
yeah, oh
board
yeah,
of
oh yeah,
education
yeah,
for
oh
students who are bored of education.
yeah. Yeah, we were still getting spankings.
Exactly. Oh yeah. Remember
In,
you had to kneel down on your hands, kneel on your
Yeah.
hands, and then they
yeah,
take the board and whack.
yeah.
It's like, yeah.
Hey, but you never had problems at school, you
We
know?
No,
We never had the problems that these kids had at school when they was putting that paddle on us in high school.
Yeah.
because
And nobody's parent came up there and
no.
oh my, don't do this to my kid. Like parents took their kid to school at that school for that very reason, because
Yeah.
my parents were busy. My mom was working, my dad was working a truck driver, my mom worked for the phone company. Mendel raised me. Mendel school was my parents.
Yeah, that's
That's
what is
big,
so well
man.
put. Yeah.
That's big.
Yeah, and I tell you, if you would have gone home and told your parents that happened to you at school, they would have beat you at
Got me
home.
again.
Yeah.
Yeah. Right. Exactly. Yeah.
That's the way it was going back then, right?
Yeah, it was. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
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 But Michael,
Is there anything else y'all want to
Michael,
share? Go ahead, Mike. I'm
I
sorry.
want to say this for Michael. I appreciate you, man. You, hey Bob, this gentleman here works like Kobe Bryant. You know what I'm saying? He, as far as our mental situation, he is the GOAT of connectedness, of the connections at Mendel, because it takes a lot of work to get all of the names and the numbers and the chasing guys down. Because sometimes I'll admit, we're kind of elusive. And Michael, he has absolutely been on top of that, man. So I thank you, Mike. Thank you so much
That's real.
for helping us be connected.
The best day of my life is, or the best day of the week is when some guy calls up and says, "Hey, I got 3 more addresses for you." Great.
Wow.
Hey,
Wow.
you don't have that one's wrong. That one on the list, that's wrong. So yeah, just if you got information, send it to me. And if the guy doesn't want to be contacted, then don't send it to me. But for the most part, and again, or they can go back to me and I you'll see on that list when I send it out to you, you'll see some guys the word unsubscribe. They just don't want. They don't want to hear about it.
Yeah.
We're not causing the trouble.
Hey, shout out to my man
right.
Fred
It's
Cleveland
always.
again. He said discipline. Y'all got discipline. And Fred Cleveland, you doing an excellent job with your sons, man. He got one son playing overseas in the pros, and then he got one son that's playing for Lalamere. He got a son that's a blue chipper. So that mental discipline trickled down to Fred Cleveland too. He did a good job with his boys. Good job, Fred Cleveland.
We just wish you could have been playing for Mendel. That's the only thing.
Hey, I guarantee you, if Mendel was open, Fred Cleveland would probably be over there coaching with you guys, with his sons over there.
I'm sure. So again, the other thing, just to explain that. So what we're doing, typically in the years before, we only celebrated a 50th anniversary. That was it. So now we said, wait a minute, that's crazy. A lot of guys don't make it to 50, all right? And so what we're doing now is we're celebrating with the 40th. The 40th with the guys, from the 50th is the 70s class, or the 60th would be the 60s class. The 70th would be the 50th class. And again, there are some guys now who are having their 70th anniversary. So what we're trying to do is, since we only have the reunion every 2 years, the honored classes this year will be 55, 56, and the next one will be 65, 66, 75, 76, 85, 86. So those will be the honor classes that'll be there, and we'll have some slides running on them. We'll try to find out some of the guys who were some of their more successful alumni, put it down there with that, and encourage those guys to show up. I mean, this is your decade reunion, and the other ones, they still show up, but those are the big ones. 55, 56. Unfortunately, and I'll tell you guys now, there's not too many of those guys left. I mean, and if they are left, they're not in a position to travel. And if you guys said, I can travel, but you got to sit me near the bathroom. Okay, that's all right.
Right.
55, 56, 65, 66, 75, 76. That's the sweet spot right now, right? 75, 76, 85, 86. So in the past, you had to wait for the 50th. We're not doing that anymore. We just lost too many guys in between.
Well, that's what's up, man. This has been
and salute to you, Bob. Thank you, Bob.
Man, thank y'all, man, for giving me this opportunity. Man, I look forward to doing this again. Maybe we could do it again in 2 weeks, right before.
Okay, so Bob, I want to ask you. Today's the 1st. Are you doing 30 pods in 30 days?
I'm doing 30 for 30.
Okay, So anybody, it's a free fall. It's a salad.
It's a free
Anybody can come
fall,
in.
man. Let's go. I supposed to have Simeon reunion coming on tomorrow, and then I got Jamie Brandon supposed to come the next day, and Trash. I got a few people lined up. Yeah.
Okay.
So we
Well, that's
finna cook,
wonderful.
man.
Hey, listen, I'm gonna pop in some of that.
You got to come on, man. You know the platform is open to anybody from Mendel. Of course, is always open, man. So, is there anything else y'all want to leave with the people before we get up out of here?
Yeah, one last thing. I mentioned, that the cost for the reunion is $75, but if you get a table of 8, it goes down to $500. $500 for a table of 8. That takes it under, like, I don't know, the $62 or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so get your friends. Just reach out. Get your brothers. Get your cousins. Get your wives. Get your girlfriends.
Sure.
Everybody's welcome. Everybody's more than welcome. Just come out.
And we can pay at the door, correct?
Yes, sir. You can, but then it's going to be $85. I'm warning you up front. Okay.
Yes. Oh yeah, I saw it.
Yeah. So, but yeah, it's good, and it's really rewarding to see. For me to pick up the phone and talk to somebody who said, I haven't talked to anybody from Mendel for 40 years.
Wow.
And then is this guy still alive? Is that guy still alive? And it really feels good to be able to say, yeah, and they're living so and so and here and there. Mm-hmm. It's a little tougher than I guess saying, I passed away, and then you just hear on the other end of the phone, they go, shit, and I say, well, that's the way it is. So, and unfortunately, we get more and more of those shit calls as the years go on. So now's the time. Don't wait. I think what we say to people all the time, if something is important to you, you find a way.
That's right.
If it's not important, you find an excuse.
That's right.
You're right.
And the last thing I always say to people, no regrets. Don't say, hey, you know what? I probably should have gone to that reunion. Right? I mean, he was still, like we were just talking today about who was the guy from class of 79 who just passed away 2 days ago?
Townsend?
No. That was a long time ago. This is 2 days ago.
Okay. Wow. Oh, wow. Okay.
I'll get an announcement out pretty soon.
I don't know who that is.
Yeah, his mother had just died, and now he died. So, and I'm thinking, I'm sure somebody's sitting there saying, you know what, maybe that's the wake up call that you need. To know that you would say, well, I'll go next time. It's 2 years. It's 2 years from now that next time we do a reunion.
Yeah, that's a long time.
That's a long time. Yeah. So maybe you're still around. Maybe you're not. I don't know. But hopefully you are. But Bob, thank you for putting this together. It was really great, really good.
Absolutely, and let's plan to get back on about 2 weeks prior to May 1st.
Okay.
And let's do it again. Is that cool?
That's cool.
Yes,
and
sir.
so go to that Mendel website. Again, I'll say it again, mendelchs.org. You can go there now and you'll see that, you can register there. You do everything you want to do. There's one spot down there, but you see who's coming. You want to see who's coming? There's a list of who's coming. There's also, you can see the things that are on the silent auction. It's on the auction that'll be up there before we begin. Okay. And we're constantly adding stuff. And again, like I said, there's one guy donated his condominium on the Penn State campus for
Nice.
So pretty cool. I mean, no tickets, but you got a place to stay.
That's what's up.
Again, just like I said, a lot of good stuff. So just keep checking that website, mendelchs.org. So again, thanks, Bobby. Michael, great to see you, man. You're looking good.
Thank you. You guys as well.
And thank you guys for coming on. We'll be back on in 2 weeks to keep this Mendel narrative going, man, because Mendel is a great institution. This your boy, Bobby Reed. I got Mike and Mike over here today. We up out of here, man. May God bless y'all all, man. Mendel's greatest, man. We up out of here, y'all. Peace.
Peace. Oh, you men of Mendel.
Ladies and gentlemen,
all right, y'all.
Boys and girls, let me tell you something. If you're going to play the game properly, you got to know every rule. Success is a result of hard work, perfection, learning from failure, loyalty, and persistence. Manners and behavior can take you where money can never take you. Kelly shines in the building. Check it out again time, so go ahead and get ready. Cause knowledge will be dropped on your mouth, growing heavy. Since you wanna be a super duper star, hot shot, roll with the top notch, blue up in the hot spot. Stop, sit for a second, class is in session. No need to raise your hand for any question, cause we gon' expose it all. Give you the rise and fall, the pro ball, like the feds, the track, the crash is the highest price of height. Just don't know what you're in for. Sit back, relax, and let these veterans serve the info. That's why I know, none of it's a lie, yo. The more I know the story, the believe the hype, yo. Cause what you see, the lads and luxury, to make a bucks and bling ain't easy as what it seems. And the things they go through, stuff they refuse to show you. From the news, from almost any interviews they go through. Time to show you all how the players play, how the ballers ball. When the lights go down, it's more than just a game. They can't give up and so insane when you step into it now. When the lights go down, let me show you all how the players play, how the ballers ball. When the lights go down, it's more than just a game. They can't give up and so insane when you step into it now. You got the fame, the fortune, reputation to scorch. And every time you see yourself shining, you just want more of it. As gorgeous as it is to be on top, be so hot, having the finer things from pop bottles to models to pimp whips, mojus and slick Rick. And knowing you's a hero to the people can give the ego an intense slip. Quick, fast, you begin to brag. Club hopping, blowing your cash, acting silly Billy bad. Cocky just cause your wrist is rocky like Stallone. You wanna be on, so no one can stop me type of trip. Ain't that a flip? Now you slowly about to slip. Seduced by the power of having chips and all the chicks you want. Lord Jesus, temptation and greetings to one of the deadliest diseases for all majors to see this. So all you major dreamers that